Self-defense rests, let's lay it down. Gonna dig deep, wave that verdict round. The defense rests, time to analyze. With the evidence, we'll unveil the crime. Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule at the defense rests.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. Welcome to the Defence Rests, where we challenge the facts and let you decide where justice lies. Now, I feel like I haven't been here for ages. Good morning, Christine. How are you? It's been a very, very messy day, I must say, for me. A messy few days. The original trial that I had scheduled for today, I discovered that it wasn't being live streamed. Yep, so I wasted all that time. And then I went to Plan B. And Plan B is in the middle of jury selection. So then I had to go to Plan C and try and find something. So we went with the Brian Walshe pretrial hearing. Now, this is a case that I intended to cover in the first place. It's not going to trial until October, but the reason I wanted to follow it is because it's a Massachusetts case and it's in Norfolk County, and Bev Canoni was presiding over it, but they have actually changed. Excuse me, I just had to scoff something very quickly. Yes, she was presiding over it, and there is a new judge now, but it still involves, there's a lot of controversy with this trial as well, because Michael Proctor was involved with the investigation. So, well, we might do a little bit of a catch-up. There's been quite a few different hearings leading up, and there's still a few more to go before this trial happens. So we can keep you updated with that. And then we will, the judge is, oh, as nice as she? Oh, that's good. Then we will see if this jury selection is complete. Let me just make sure that that's running so that I can hear it and see it. So we'll do a bit of a background on Brian first. Then we will hopefully be able to switch straight over to day one, or opening statements at the very least. Hello, how are you going? Oh, Elizabeth. Okay, who's Kelly? Whose phone have you stolen? I did by Tuesday. What do you mean? I don't understand. Oh. Kelly is your boyfriend. Okay. Is your phone flat or broken? Did we all have a good weekend? It has been, I feel like I haven't been here in forever, but then it's only been a night. But I've done so much in that time that, yeah. Did we enjoy the podcast? What did you think? That was a fly by the seat of your pants, Jodie effort, I must say. Pretty much zero prep. I don't like I don't like not being organised, which is why this has annoyed me. It's been flat out, just, as you know, I had my flatmate or roommate move out, and his idea of clean is not particularly clean in any sense of the word. The jury selection, the one, who's that? Christopher B. Hull. I don't know who that is, though. The jury selection that I'm waiting on is the Marcella Chidester. I don't know who Christopher B. Hull is. Right, what was I saying? Can't remember now. Oh, whilst I remember now, apparently Ty is doing a live stream tonight sometime. I don't know what channel. Oh, the boat crash. Okay. Yes. Well, the boat club. All right. So they are hoping that it will be done today. Yeah. So I have spent a lot of the weekend trying to get my spare room back to scratch. I've had to wash the curtains 3 times. I threw out the mattress protector and the sheet. I need to get the carpet steam cleaned and wash the walls down, but I just haven't been able to. My pain has been through the roof, and I'm really struggling with my hips. So I don't know what to do. I really don't. I ring the NDIS every day and beg. So I don't know what else to do. But I'm still waiting for my appointment for the neurosurgeon to see whether or not there is anything that can be done. Otherwise, we just wait. Yes, I haven't spoken to him for ages. I just happened to see him on Facebook that he was complaining about what's been going on, and I think he's going to talk about all of the stuff that he's been going through since he got out, because there's a lot. And I think he's now able to say something he wasn't able to say anything before. But I think he's fed up. I think he's had enough. And yeah, he's going to tell all. So as soon as I hear back and find out what channel he's actually going to be on, I will let you know. So I've temporarily scheduled this trial to start. I think I put it at midday. But if they haven't finished jury selection by then, I will just yeah, I know. He's definitely had it rough. And you don't know half of it. Trust me. He's been very refrained for a long time because this has been going on for a long time. Yeah. But remember, there's always 2 sides to every story. I haven't spoken to Lauren at all. She's blocked me apparently, which is why AJ basically stopped everything suddenly because I was affiliated with Ty and she was friends with Lauren. So yeah. So yes, I'm not sure what's happening with his divorce case. I know he had a court on Monday, but he didn't elaborate as to. Well, I asked him how he went. He never got back to me, so I don't know if that's going ahead. But he will update us tonight, so I'll let you know when I know where it is, because he's got a new YouTube channel. Well, he's got a couple. Let me see if I can find his current one. And it's not particularly well named, but I think it was a piss take. Where is it? I shall copy it and paste it in chat. Where is it? LMNT, Jody T. Has anyone heard from Teresia? I haven't heard back from her in a week. I hope she's okay. It's not like her to be offline for so long. Yeah, that's apparently why. Apparently, yeah, because remember it happened right after I got the phone call from Ty, and she had mentioned to me prior to that, behind the scenes, that that she was in contact with Lauren, and that that Lauren was making accusations of sorts, and that AJ wasn't particularly happy with what allegedly Ty was doing, so decided that she didn't want to have anything to do with it. And yeah, because I did, even though not interested in discussing his personal stuff, that's for him to do. I don't cover gossip and innuendo. Yeah, because of her. I think Lauren is either black or white. You either if you're affiliated with someone that is involved with Ty, then yeah, it's not doing well. The last time I talked to her, she said that she thinks the flu is 10. Oh shit. Oh, I hope she's on antibiotics. I know pneumonia is nasty. It's nasty. Poor bugger. Oh. And I can't do jack shit either, can I? It's horrible. Oh. Yeah, I have to sleep in a V position like that. Because that stretches my lower back out where my discs are protruding, and that's the only position that relieves some of the pain. Yeah. So yes, it sounds like we've all been through the wars. We're having a bit of a tough time of it at the moment. So can you drop the... Yeah, it's above you, Christine. It's in chat. It's already there. I beat ya. And I think that's the one. I'm not sure. Because he's got a couple. And there's another one that something Inc. Big Boy Inc. or something like that. Don't think I've got it on here. I think it's on my phone. Yeah, it's not there. And I haven't heard from Bri in over a month. Easy. Yeah. So I don't know if you heard before. Yeah, me too. The original trial that I had up on and organised and prepped for and did the thumbnail and did all the artwork and did all the research and printed out all the information and knew it inside out. And Steve messaged me a few hours ago and said, the trial you've got up that's in Baltimore, they don't live stream their trials. I'm like, really? It was on Law and Crime, for fuck's sake. Yeah. So then I prepped for the DUI case, and then as soon as I logged on, jury selection. Fuck. So then I had to prep for another one. So I've picked this one because I did intend to follow it anyway, even though it's not going to trial until October. This is in the same, it's in Norfolk County in Massachusetts, so it's the same courthouse as Karen Reed, and Michael Proctor was the lead investigator, so there's quite a bit of controversy still there. So this is just a pre-trial motion. And I think they are dealing with some of the issues with Michael Proctor, but I thought we would just do a little bit of background. I found a couple of things on the net of the inn that might give us some background information to catch us up. Seeing as I know absolutely, well, very little about this case, because I only started setting up for it about half an hour ago. Yep. So I'm going to have to change things up a bit, I think, as far as the channel goes, because this working all night, 5 nights a week is nearly killing me. So what I was thinking I might do, because over the weekend I was watching, no, not for a few days, no, not since last week, because he didn't come onto the podcast either. Last Thursday, I think I last heard from him. Whenever he was in chat last week was the last one. Last time I heard from Buddha Hef and Anna and Lola's mum and Curious One and yeah. Anywho, so yes, I was watching and trying to find some different content, because this live trial stuff it's impossible for me to do. Staying up 8 hours all night, sleeping all day. I don't get anything done during the day. I don't get a chance to see my kids or anything. It's just, and the reason I was thinking about this is because talking to Steve, as you do, like I was on the phone after the podcast until 7:30 in the morning. So what time did the podcast start? Well, it eventually started, I think, about 2, because he didn't get on until 1:45, which is 10 o'clock or just after 10 your time. So we spoke until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4:30 in the afternoon. And the reason I was talking to him was because I'd gone onto my analytics and I'd noticed that the entire trial that I just did, the bedtime one, I'd gone from, getting like 500 views on average per stream down to like 9, 10, I think 13 was the highest. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I went on and saw, I earned $50 for the entire month of February. $50. Working every night, 5 nights a week. $50. And I could not for the life of me understand why. So, yeah, yep, yeah, pretty much. Well, only because 9 a.m. is the court start time. But the other thing is too, I'm competing with the big guys. You know, if I start 9 a.m. live with them, me and how many subscribers and how small I am compared to most of them, I don't get pushed out into the algorithm. Well, I do. I did. But it's certainly not anywhere near as what I should be, given the amount of time and effort that I put in. So I was talking to Steve about it, and he's asking me what had happened and what had, did anything change in the last month? And I said to him, well, the only thing is the Tandem True Crime. And he said, oh, you got that. I don't know if you remember, but the first one we did, we got shut down. And it wasn't a copyright strike and it wasn't a warning. It was somewhere in between. So we completely deleted it off and started afresh. But apparently, when that happened, that flagged both of our accounts, both of our channels. And so every little thing, every little swear word, every little bad word, every Tandem True Crime episode we did, we were getting copyright just notifications because of the theme songs behind the movie. And apparently Steve was telling me, so what happens is once you're flagged, if you get another copyright notice, that pushes you down the list. If you then go back in and delete the copyrighted material, that then tells YouTube that, well, you knew it was copyright and you put it on anyway and you deleted it after the fact. So they push you down even further. And then the following week, the same thing happens. So they've pretty much bumped me off the end. I was searching on Google about a trial and your YouTube channel. Oh, okay, cool. Which trial was it? So basically, all that I was getting to view my videos for the last trial were my subscribers, and only 13 of them. It wasn't being pushed out at all. So I've got to try and rectify that. And apparently, I had to go in and change the word dipshit. Yeah. So I've now changed it to an S as a $sign instead of an S, because apparently that goes against you as well. That's why I re-uploaded and changed them all and put them back up. So what I might have to do is I've spoken to Tan, but we'll still do the stream, but I might just be a guest on her channel for the Gangland War series and not stream it on my channel. Because yeah, it's just I've worked too hard to get kicked off now. All right, enough blubbering, Jody. Let's get on with it. Okay, so now Brian Walshe, nasty bastard. I don't know how much you guys know about him, but probably know more than me. So he is on trial for the unaliving of his wife Ana back in January of 2023. He is alleged to have dismembered her with a hacksaw and disposed of her in various unknown locations. Her body has never been recovered to this point. As I said, she's the case. The lead investigator is Michael Proctor. They did have Judge Bev as the trial judge, but they've changed that now. And yes, it goes to trial on the 20th of October this year. All right. So this particular article is to do with the violation of his apparent rights. Um, the attorney for Brian Walshe, accused of murdering his wife, isn't, pleased with the way DNA testing collected by investigators could be done. Well, fancy that. Did they have solo cups? Walsh is charged with killing and dismembering his wife, Anna, in early 2023. A motion filed in advance of a hearing Wednesday objects to how a lab would test 6 samples. These samples sent to Bodhi Technology by the prosecution include fragments of blood clots, tissue, muscle, and possible bone fragments, according to defense attorney Larry Tipton's filing. Ew. Bode is a Virginia company specializing in DNA analysis and other forensic services. The lab will allow an expert observer, which Tipton wants, because the testing could destroy the samples, making it impossible to conduct a second independent analysis. But Bodhi Technology's restrictions on what an observer can see results in a violation of the defendant's rights, Tipton objects. Bodhi Technology's observation policies link the observers of access to certain parts of the testing process, through which a video feed at a fixed camera angle, which the observer cannot manipulate. Bodhi Technology also charges an observation fee of over $20,000. Are you kidding me? A cost that the prosecution has asked the defense to shoulder. That's rich. Some biological evidence has been tested at state police labs, while other samples have been sent to Bodhi Technology. You see, the state has all of these, unlimited resources, and yeah. By contrast, the State Police Crime Lab allows expert observation without the severe limits imposed by Bodhi Technology. Tipton argued that the prosecution has not sufficiently explained the need to engage Bodhi Technologies, except to say that the latter has the ability to slice bone samples that the state lab lacks. Well, why didn't you just send the bone samples to them instead? Tipton noted that only one of the 6 samples sent to Virginia contains possible bone fragments. In his motion, he requested more information on the observation policies and detailed description of what they can do that the state lab cannot. So, any destruction of evidence in testing where a defence expert cannot adequately observe the process would violate Walsh's rights as a defendant under the 6th and 14th Amendments. All right. Tipton has received over 100 pages of notes compiled by suspended state trooper Michael Proctor, who led the investigation leading to Walsh's arrest in 2023. The documents include pages of notes Proctor took during the investigation and letters between the District Attorney's Office and the US Attorney's Office in Massachusetts. Wonder if I can find them. Oh, I reckon I can. Because as the gavel drops, we'll have them, no doubt. Let's see. Let me see. I want documents. Where's the documents? Come on. Ooh, keep going. Keep going. Oh, is there a book or a podcast out? NBC 10 Boston. Looks like a book. Really? Wow. Go back a bit. Keep going. All right. First photo. Brian Walsh is seen on the 1st of January appearing to throw out a garbage bag in the Swamp Scotch. Oh, okay. Uh, can I share that? It's not particularly good. Apparently, that is some footage of Brian Walsh disposing of something. Let me zoom in. There you go. I think there was a couple of photos on here. Oh. That's him getting out of a car. That's him carrying a box. That's him there. You can see. Hang on, make it bigger. That's him there with a mask on and that box. That's the one with the shopping carts. Okay, there's 3 photos in that. All right. There's the documents. Come on. There we go. 25 of them. Oh, lordy. Okay. What's this? Application for criminal complaint. Criminal docket. I want the Proctor. Walsh has been convicted in federal court of felony fraud. Okay. No, 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 no. Oh, there's only 4 in that one. Where's the next one? Nope. 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 Where's the next one? Police affidavit. Wonder if that's. Oh, let's sort of download that thing on. Fraud complaint, fraud sentencing. I want Proctor's notes. Come on. They must be further up. I'll continue. What's that? That's a chat. This is how good they are. Like, this is all the media stuff. Oh. Oh. Clicked onto the wrong thing. Yeah, so this is as the gavel drops. So this is the main thing on Brian Walsh. So every media, every newspaper, every internet report, every YouTube thing, all included on here. And then they have threads of documents when they're released, all linked in to the same thing. And then they open up into a separate window. So they're all, and then you can have a chat as well. So if you wanted to speak to someone, or you like one of these in particular was really interesting and you wanted to chat to other people, there is a chat linked to each one. Obviously, this is very popular. Oh, that's not very nice. Lord. Allegations of fraud. Oh, what's that? Hung a sheet of notes. Brian Walsh hung a sheet of notes praising him in his home. A wrinkled sheet of white paper covered in at least a dozen handwritten notes, heaping praise on Brian Walsh, including from participants in life coaching groups he attended, hung on the wall. Oh, my Lord. He's so full of himself. There is an easier way to do this, I'm sure, but I don't know it. Ooh. Da. We're nearly up the top. Making police have found evidence connected to the disappearance of Anna at a trash station in Peabody. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know where Peabody is. Bloody knife found in home of missing Cohasset woman. Ground search in Cohasset for missing woman. Right. Well, looks like I'm going to have to go and download them myself. But they actually give you the court link and the case number and everything. So, but never mind. Another stream. Let me go back. I have to change pages again. Yeah. Share screen. Brian Walshe. Go into that one. There. Is that the right one? Yeah. All right. So this is the next one. Brian Walshe, defense obtains Michael Proctor's notes, but not his texts. Oh. Oh, yes. That's the Jose. That's the next one. That's on the 18th, and it is Jose Morales. It's the grandmother and granddaughter. Yes, killed in their home. Just awful, awful. But I probably came up because I have in the background that you can't see, I've set up the stream ready to go because I'm that organised. That's why I hate it when at the last minute things change. I just don't like that. I've got to be organised. Oh, yes, because I've got it up already in the background of YouTube, so it's probably picked me up because I'm 2 weeks early. No one else has put their thumbnails and shit up. But see, like, I can't. You don't know what trials are actually going to be streamed and what not, what isn't until like just before the courts open on the day. Like if I go onto Court TV now, I'll see what they're streaming. But when I'm setting it up like 10 hours before or even earlier, like way earlier, doing finishing touches 10 hours earlier, and there's nothing up, I have to wait till the last minute before I can find out if it's bloody streaming. And it was just so happened that because it was in, it was Baltimore. It was like not far from Steve. And he messaged me and said, they don't normally stream their courts unless you get prior approval. Like, fuck. All right. So, hundreds of pages of notes and more than 2,500 images from the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office are now in possession of defense attorneys for Brian Walshe. His wife, Ana Walsh, was reported missing in January 23. Prosecutors say that he unalived her in their home in Cohasset, Massachusetts, on New Year's Day. dismembering her body and discarding her remains in the trash. Her body was never recovered. Jury selection will begin in October. According to the new court filings, many of the records given to the defence team Tuesday involve suspended Massachusetts State Police Trooper Michael Proctor, who is set to face a trial board next week due to misconduct allegations stemming from the Karen Reid murder trial case. When was this dated? January the 8th. So he's had his hearing. I like the wording of that. State Police probe of Trooper Michael Proctor done. The trial board hearing is scheduled for January 15th, and prosecutors say state police may immediately impose permanent discipline. Does anyone know what the results of that hearing was? I don't know, I could Google it, but Proctor was the lead investigator in both cases. His testimony at Reid's trial, which ended with a hung jury, raised serious questions about police integrity, I think. It's hard to disagree that Proctor didn't conduct himself professionally, at least in Karen Reid's case, and if it spilled over into this case, there would be tragic consequences for the Commonwealth. Really. I don't think the Commonwealth are held accountable for much nowadays. Hopefully tomorrow night they will be. Or tomorrow morning for you guys. Is it? Yeah. Proctor's disturbing text messages were damning part of... Oh, yeah, we know all that. Norfolk County District Attorney Office sent a Brady letter to the defence attorneys in other cases, disclosing that Proctor, who was involved in each investigation, has been subject to cross-examination regarding issues like conflict of interest and bias. Okay, so they notified the defence. In court filings in the Walsh case, the Commonwealth wishes to withhold Proctor's texts. And has argued that the District Attorney's Office is still reviewing the suspended trooper's work phone and iCloud data. Really? How long does it take to analyse that? Prosecutors added that they've hired an attorney to conduct an independent review. It's where the smoking guns are found now. Okay. All right. Let's get into said hearing, I think. Yep, that one's done. That one's done. And that one's on. Share the screen. Share. Stage. Ta-da! I think that's what it was where you have a notification. Yes, yeah. You need to, can you send me some pictures on Messenger? Oh, that's another thing. I need to congratulate my eldest daughter and her beautiful man. They bought their first home today. Yay! They are officially homeowners. Well, they will be when settlement occurs at the end of May, but their offer was accepted and they have just purchased their first home. Unfortunately, there isn't much of a backyard, so there is no granny flat being built for me. But all right, let's do it. I've started. The first part of this is all waiting, and this is when the judge arrives.
All right. You may be seated. Was now set. Okay, Tommy Tugler versus Brian Walshe, back number 2382 DR 00091 with Price identified themselves according to the representative.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Greg Vaughn from Commonwealth.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. District Attorney Anna Walsh, the Commonwealth of Maryland. Welcome, both of you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Good afternoon, everyone. Kelly Swartz on behalf of Mr. Walsh.
Good afternoon. Welcome, defense counsel, welcome to this matter.
Okay, darling.
Please
Thank you.
proceed. So I have, I guess, at least two things on my radar, and then I'm happy to hear from you with regard to anything else that you want to put on my radar.
She's got foofy hair, hasn't she?
For movement forward today.
A bit like me today. I
So,
washed it.
I think we can confidently say that we briefed the issue of Wayne. And by that I mean I have both the defendant's supplemental memorandum, and I've read it, of course, and the Commonwealth supplemental opposition to the Rule 17 OI IA records. I've read those as well. I'm happy to hear any additional argument that's precipitated by these new pleadings or not, as you think is helpful to your case. So I'll start with defense on that.
Really nothing. I could argue very briefly about some representation, how they made it. It's not determined.
I think the issue is fully briefed, but I want to give you the opportunity that if there was something that was raised by the opposition that you didn't get a chance to put in writing, that you at least had the ability. I didn't. You may disagree as to your relative positions, but I just want to give you the opportunity to address that if you wish to orally. And to the Commonwealth.
We rest in the things, thank you very much.
So I'll give you something on that. Can I see counsel at the side of the bench with regard to that motion for a second?
Yes.
White noise, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when white noise come to you? Come on.
One step forward and one step back at the same time.
That was loud.
The Commonwealth heard what you said at the last hearing, and I was able to work with my office and secure the funding for defense's expert who present during testing and voting.
I saw that, and I appreciate your efforts to eliminate issues where you can.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Tipton was able to have conversations with voting today and found out that they are trying to improve their facilities for experts to view the procedures. Unfortunately, they might be closed from April to September, so we are trying to get on a call today with Bodie to find out when they would be not having experts there. My preference is to do this as soon as possible because we want this for the trial and vote. So
Run that by me again. So Bodie is improving their facilities to enhance the ability of individuals to view, presumably because they're getting requests like ours.
And I think that Mr. Tipton can speak with far better than I can because he was able to get the email from Bodie.
But they're going to be closed?
I don't think they're not doing testing. I think the facilities for for the visiting expert would be closed from potentially April to September when they're doing these construction to build it out. So that's the problem.
Okay.
That's basically what I learned yesterday. And I'm a little vague on the details because I have a vague email. So I shared it with the Commonwealth. And we announced in an email to a person named Brian Adams who responded to me very quickly. I have a phone call, a joint phone call, where we can better understand what he's saying.
Terrible background
Yes,
noise. Terrible.
There's renovations going on for Bodie and Timber. And specifically, there's renovations for the observation area that will improve observation. But it looks to us, or at least to me, from the email, that it looks like the ability to observe may be shut down from April, so that we can observe. So we just need to get a clarification.
Are we in a position to get in there in March?
That's my hope is if we can get in there in March. Again,
Then we avoid the issue altogether.
and I understand where the defense is coming from, that like the most optimal conditions, we have a trial date. I think that that's something we can talk about as far as the cross-examination trial and whatnot, but I think that it's more of a trial issue right now.
That is the issue. That, I was trying to get clarification for both, to what the enhancements were. And of course, our preference is to have the best ability to closer. And I know that there's going to be, additional mass state police. And we're prepared to have them serve. If they have that done. So, and my understanding, Judge, was that the reading what we received from the Commonwealth about voting and the rationale for the charging the fee that you was that they could get the testing done in a matter of days. And I think I might be right about this, I might be wrong about this, and that's what we need the clarification for. If that means, yes, we get the testing done, but that doesn't mean we're gonna produce a written report in 3 to 4 to 6 days as to the results. So I was thinking, well, if the observation room is enhanced and ready to go the first week of September, and we were first in line, and of course, all of this is, presupposing things that we don't have answers to. If we were first in line for September test, we would still get results and a report the first part of September, and it wouldn't disrupt the October trial. And I don't know that.
Let me tell you, I need to know a heck of a lot more about those improvements before I'm gonna put you off till September on an October trial date. That just seems to me to be a recipe for, I won't say disaster, but delay. It'll be a recipe for a delay to that trial date.
Wow.
I don't think it's necessary.
Those eyebrows.
I don't know the facts, I don't know what the facility looks like right now. Obviously, testing is being done there. Other entities are using them. Commonwealth has used them before. I'm sure the Commonwealth has had other people observe from whatever they have existing right now. And I'm certainly unaware of any case law or other.
All right. You only achieved those eyebrows with Botox. Now, can you see her forehead is very, very flat and shiny? There's no wrinkles. There's no movement. And you watch if her eyes move, you don't get the eyebrow. If you put Botox just in under here, the muscles above it overcompensate and can lift your eyebrow points. There you go.
Law that says
FYI.
it's somehow insufficient or
You watch her forehead
adequate
and eyebrows. They don't move.
to be able to observe. If it felt that way, I wouldn't be sending you down there in the first place. So
The actual top half of her face doesn't move. Sorry, bad pause.
I'm going to start with the presumption that what they have right now is adequate for observation, and what we would get might be better. But I don't even know. They're changing the carpeting. I don't care. If they're making significant enhancements to how the observation is conducted, and those enhancements impact our case and the testing and work that needs to be done in our case. It may be the case that the enhancements that they're making don't apply to the materials that we sent them, or that the Commonwealth sent them, that we have in this case, that are being tested by them. So let's sort that out, but I think you both should be prepared to get this testing done in March so that we can avoid any delay as a result of Bodie's enhancements that as of right now, and anyway, I don't believe I don't think this situation in place is in any way prejudicial, as far as I know, to the defense. And nor do I know that anything they're doing to enhance their.
Don't ask me how I know this.
In light of that, Your Honor, we had drafted, I should say, in light of this thing, we had, before we knew about the renovations, had drafted an order for you for notice of the defense expert. And
Let me see if I can put my hands on that.
I have a copy of the report.
Is that attached to your notice?
Don't walk extra steps with you.
I already printed out the notice, but not the attachment, so that, or if they did it, someone else, not here.
I know.
Has defense had an opportunity to look at the proposed order?
I am.
And before I read it, what's your, assuming that we can get it in March, what's your position with regard to the proposed order?
Well, I really don't have a problem with it. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. What I do have a problem with is I'm worried that our expert, and I'm waiting for more clarification. I don't think he's available to go down there. I think he's available in April. And I think if we had to, if we get Bodie on the phone in a joint phone call, and we could have a specific answer to some specific questions, and make it clear that when the observation is still being conducted before they stop doing it, then we might be able to have available dates for this. But that's the problem I have right now as we speak.
Well, the expert may be busy every day in March, but he might not have, every case isn't actually the same. That is, he may not be in a situation where Bodie's renovations are impacting all of those cases, and I presume he's not. That is, said another way, maybe he can prioritize this case in light of the fact that Bodie is going to shut down. Now, maybe they're shut down on April 30th and we have nothing to worry about. And maybe they're shutting down on April 15th and he's free on April 1st. Who knows? That's what you got to sort out. But I don't know who your expert is. I don't know what his day-to-day commitment is, but that's what I'm counting on you to do. Go through day-to-day and see if you can shuffle some things around if in fact Bodie is shutting down at March 31st to see if we can get a day. We're talking about 1 or 2 days? That's what it seemed like from what I was reading.
And you'll see that order doesn't have a date in it as far as when the testing has to be done.
Right, it's just that, probably in a phone call in 24 hours, you could tell me, oh, it's April 15th, it's April 30th, don't worry about it, Judge. None of you worry about it. You've got other bigger things to worry about than that, right? But keep on talking to the lab and get it back to me.
Yes,
Presumptively, I think that 2 weeks to let them know is good, but the thing is, I'm more worried about is the 2 weeks after that. The close down is the 31st. I'm going to ask the defense to reach out to your expert and try to see if he can avail himself and make himself free for those days that we're going to need, even if it requires him to shuffle some things around.
And we're doing that, we will do that. I just want to make clear that the record, I'm telling the court that we're doing all this, I don't want to be seen as waiving any arguments we've already made. I'm not going to make it now about the lack of proper observation and how it goes into our deciding whether we have an expert or not. I'm not going to repeat those because the first thing we need to do is get all this information to make a better decision.
Okay. Why don't we plan, just while we're on this issue, to have a Zoom call next Friday on this, so that we can close circle to see whether there's an issue or not on that. Can we? I don't need you to march up here, and if you want, I can get your client on a Zoom. I'm pretty lucky with that. But if you want to waive his presence, all we're going to talk about is whether or not we've reached agreement with regard to this Bodie thing. But I don't want too much time to pass, given that March is here.
We can do that. Next Friday is booked up for me until the afternoon. But I'm
free that afternoon, Ron.
And if you, between now and Friday, decide that you don't need to see me on this because you've reached agreement, you now know the information, and either you know that your expert's available in March, or Bodie's not closing until, I'm making this up, until April 21st, and you can get him in before that. You don't need my attention, that's fine too. You can just email the clerk and say we don't need that. The only reason you need it is if you haven't reached agreement. I know, I don't know what time in the afternoon you're talking about, but I'm free pretty much the whole day that day. I'm not on trial that day. I have another obligation, but I can hop on a call at any time. But I know that the facility gets hinky in the late afternoon, especially on a Friday, but gets hinky in the afternoon. Are you in a position?
I think from 2 o'clock on.
No, but are you in a position to waive your client's appearance by Zoom if the facility can't do it later in the afternoon?
For that purpose, we would.
Just for that. And I won't talk about anything else, we'll just talk about whether we've reached agreement with regard to voting. If not, what we're gonna do. I'll still try to get them on. I just know that at the witching hour in the afternoon, it becomes difficult sometimes to get them on later in the day. Usually in the morning and the early afternoon it works. I found less so in the late afternoon. What time's convenient for the two of you?
2 o'clock. 2.
So we'll do a Zoom page, but we'll go forward if they can't get them on there for 2 o'clock. All right. And third thing I have is this. Just give me 1 second. I did take a lot of notes on your motions, and I just want to make sure if there's anything that I want to ask you while you're here. Maybe this is a disconnect because I'm not understanding what's written in here, or maybe this is truly a disconnect. Among the attachments to the Commonwealth motion was a letter that was recently received by AUSA Moran. And in that letter, she says, and this is the second full paragraph on the second page. She says, my office previously produced to the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office copies of Trooper Proctor's statements made public at Ms. Reed's trial. Those copies are not subject to any protective order and therefore can be provided to Ms. Porges.
Yes, sir.
And then somewhere along the line, when I was reading somebody's pleadings, I think it was the Commonwealth, but I don't know, maybe it was in the defense pleadings, there was some discussion about materials that were turned over by the U.S. Attorney's Office, but not used in the Reed matter, that would be covered by the protective order. And that seems to be at odds with, it seems to me what AUSA Moran is saying is that if it was turned over in connection with the Reed case, it's not subject to the protective order.
We received 52 pages of text messages that were introduced to trial, Your Honor.
All of them? All,
Well, no, 52 pages of text messages that were introduced to trial that were litigated at the trial.
right.
Entered and read out loud. That was subsequent to the retrial. That was turned over to the Commonwealth, and we were allowed to turn that over to defense. And we did execute actually a protective order on that when we turned it over to defense, done without prejudice. There were 2 redactions, I believe, that we put on those text messages, and that was why we had the protective order. And I believe defense got to review the unredacted version, and we gave them a physical copy of the redacted version. So those are the materials that were turned over to us that this office believes was not subject to the protective order. The first batch, that's 3,000, 3,000 pages that the prosecutors in the retrial did sign that order for. That we have not deviated from. We believe that we're still held under that order.
So it's unclear to me, as I read that, I mean, a reading of that sentence would be, it says further, my office previously produced to the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office copies of Trooper Proctor's statements. That's more than the 50, all of his statements, right? Which would include his grand jury, would include any statements, right?
Yes,
But then just the sentence goes on to say, made public at Ms. Reed's trial. Those copies, is she talking about the copies of his statements, or is she talking about the statements that were made public?
we believe it was, she specifically mentioned the 52 pages of text messages. Those copies of the 52 pages of text messages, that's what we believe that it did. Because that was specific in a release to us as a result of a subsequent TUI request that was done. That was turned over to us. And it wasn't by, and when I say us, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, the Reed team filed additional TUI requests, got the 52 pages of text messages with the authorization from the U.S. Attorney's Office. This was entered at trial, you can release this. And that's what we did. We did not receive the authorization from the U.S. Attorney's Office to release anything but those 52 pages of text messages. And we turned them over to the defense.
Well, and I also note that as of February 12th anyway, the U.S. Attorney's position was that there was an ongoing investigation.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not sure if that's no longer ongoing, what impact it has on this request, if any. I mean, it's a litany of different things that why they've rejected, and it's perhaps beyond the scope of what we're talking about today, because that's presented to me in the context of the opposition to the internal affairs request.
Yes, sir.
But the basis for the rejection of the TUI request that you both made is a fluid analysis.
And I released an updated, what we received, my office received an update on that investigation. That was circulated to me via email by the first assistant. I gave the copy of the information I emailed to counsel in a letter yesterday. So if they want to use that for an updated TUI request.
I mean, there's still other issues that AUSA Moraine makes here in writing on behalf of the U.S. Attorney. But to my reading of that letter, it seems a little unclear what position the United States Attorney is taking with regard to what information is covered and not covered by the protective order. And since we don't have the protective order, it's hard to know. And secondly, whether or not any of the changes in circumstance of that investigation changes their position.
Yes, sir.
Thirdly, the investigation isn't going on anymore. I'm not looking for more work, but there may be a preservation issue.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't want to bring it up. I'm glad the court did. I was having a conversation with another attorney on my way in on this very issue, and we're all waiting for an official from the U.S. Attorney's Office. So we know if the investigation has, in fact, ended, instead of just media reports and representations we made. And then what Your Honor just said, that would compel us to file something in addition. I don't want to belabor today, but that's exactly what we're anticipating once we have a firm answer. The second is how it may impact on our, if it does, How may have something that on the internal and third, just to round this out. I know Your Honor's going to make a decision eventually on the school 17, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, but we're still waiting for, and I think we might get it today, the production of the review by the independent review, so I can see.
Right.
So if I may, Ron?
Yes.
Council, that was one of the protective orders to present to the court, but we gave, council signed it, we've given them a copy of that review today. That's on the thumb drive.
Okay.
Attorney Sack has gone through, I believe, 8,600 of the 13,100 emails. And then he's gone over several other portions of the phone and wrote about a 20-page report about that. My understanding through an interview that was done last night on a local radio station with the U.S. Attorney, Foley, is that U.S. Attorney Foley said that she cannot, under DOJ rules, confirm that an investigation has come to an end.
That's right.
And she said that it's not uncommon for law enforcement partners to be notified of the status of the investigation. My office was notified by the U.S. Attorney's office. I provided that to the defense counsel. That's the best I can do.
By the way, I don't mind, I'm picking out and cherry picking portions of this letter that I just couldn't understand what it meant, and I didn't know if it was my lack of knowledge of the different parts or different parts of Super Proctor's statement, what was public and what isn't, because I have no idea what's public and what isn't, other than the emails that you see, everybody can see all over the news, okay? And that you pointed out to me in the pleading. But it seems to me unclear what the position of the U.S. Attorney is with regard to the statements that were produced. And I think a reading of that sentence is that whether they were used in public or not, what we turned over to you is not protected by that protective order with regard to his statements. I don't know that that's what they're saying, but I don't understand. But let me not forget that the sentence before it, which is important, which they say, or she says, I'm not aware of any statements by state or local law enforcement in the possession, custody, or control of my office, the U.S. Attorney's Office, or the FBI that concern the investigation of Mr. Walsh for his wife's murder or the Walsh murder case. So unlike what we had, what was going on in the Reed case, there are no, that she's aware of statements that relate or concern to this investigation, this prosecution. That's a very important part of this paragraph. So I didn't need to pick the rest of it off, and but there's some lack of clarity there. And I now found out who it was, which is paragraph 46 of the Commonwealth's supplemental opposition. And that's when I wrote a note. Isn't this contrary to Moraine's letter? But maybe it's not. Maybe I'm reading it incorrectly. Footnote 13, Commonwealth's opposition is defense ceding that is correct.
Is the Commonwealth's assertion in footnote 13 correct?
Yes.
It is correct, and I take full responsibility for that. That is, when you try to edit down a 40-page statement of a pleading and you sloppily do it, what was excised from that turned out to be a 29-page pleading was a paragraph that explained my meaning of that sentence, but now you have the benefits. So.
But it did get brought out. I don't want to have to go back and read the whole.
You don't need to.
Thank you.
It's just that the way that sentence reads, the Commonwealth's footnote 13 is that I apologize.
I don't have any other meaningful footnotes. You've asked if you can advance and continue. And so I think the last time we were together, I moved your May 12th date to May 8th, 19th. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was after I realized it, I don't know. But we're on right now for May 19th. I think it did it after. I didn't realize until after you left that I was still conflicted out because I was going to be somewhere else on the 12th. So, are you telling me you can get it all done in that one day? The 19th?
I believe we can. I mean, it could take 2 days, but the point is, what we're coming up with, Judge, is that there's an overlap of witnesses, there's an overlap of
There is.
issues. And it just started making sense to.
So when we had a discussion the last time we were in Dedham at the side of the bench, when I said I don't like 3, 4, 5 motions to suppress, you convinced me otherwise, that it would make sense in this case. I won't repeat for the reasons why you indicated. But is that not a concern of yours any longer?
It's still a concern, but I still think that after we have been able to continue to process the information, that it just makes sense that we bring everybody in and have a full hearing that addresses all of the search and seizure and related issues in 1 year. There's no reason to call people and then call them back a month later. So that's what we're,
All right.
but we do want to say that it could take more than just 1 single day, but we would only know that once we got started.
All right. I'm just trying to adjust my calendar.
All right. Well, if there was a dictionary definition of boring as batshit, this pre-trial hearing would be listed under it. Good morning, Heather. Hello, and welcome back to the flock. Where the flock have you been? I don't know if I can sit through any more of this. Mm-hmm. 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 It's been messy. It's been very, very messy. I don't like messy. I don't do messy. Oh, shoot. What happened? Teresa is really sick too. They think she might have developed pneumonia and cracked a rib from coughing. What's going on? Apparently only just. Elizabeth? What happened? Oh. What, you got really dehydrated or? So was it both ends? Sorry. It's not nice, is it? It's not nice being ill or incapacitated or needing to rely on someone else. It's awful. Did you did you get muscle cramping? She's on her boyfriend's phone. So what did they do for you? Did they give you antibiotics or rehydrate you, or you didn't go to the doctor? You didn't go to the doctor. I didn't think so. Oh dear. When you got dehydrated, did you start getting muscle cramps? Because that's got to do with this this next trial that we're going to start. Plan B. So you're still feeling washed out and awful, or are you back on the yeah. So magnesium is the best thing. Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to take mine. Cheers. It's the magnesium that causes the muscles to cramp. So, and you can have your Tylenol for your fever. Yeah. Your you need to replace your electrolytes, because if they're not in balance, nothing works properly. But yes, the trial that we're going to follow, this alleged DUI, where she was done for, like, she tested high on a BAC blow. No, they did bloods. That's right. They did bloods, and she's claiming, like, it came back a high read. She's claiming that when they did the blood tests and the police officer put the blood into the container, apparently you guys, you have to add some additive to it, and then you have to shake the vial up to mix it to get the correct thing. Well, apparently that they didn't shake it. So she's contesting that it was an inaccurate BAC reading. I was trying to remember if I knew you from somewhere. Elizabeth Kelly. Nah, welcome. Yay, the troops are falling in. Yeah, hang on. I just looked at that. I just caught that message of yours out of the corner of my eye, and it looked like you said anal. Good to see you. Sorry. I just like glanced at it very quickly, and I'm like, whoa. That's right. Yes, this is the one. This is the one. Yes, this is my plan B, the one I had scheduled and set up and did all the research and thumbnailed it and did it all. Found out that it wasn't being live streamed. fucking. Oh no, that's fine. I've just been trying to find something to do, because the second one that I set up an hour before, which is the DUI one, I got on to start streaming and they're in jury selection. So then I had to go with plan C and do something else, which was as boring as batshit. Yeah. So I'm just killing time now until I thought I'd do a quick case overview of this case. And then apparently they reckon that jury selection will be done by 1. And they're starting at 1. So I will I'll run that as a sleep stream and then follow up tomorrow with a recap and an overview. Just like that. Why do the dirty jokes always start when Anna Yeah. We need to, I don't know How can we send Teresa a group message just to wish her well? Because she hasn't been on for over a week. She's not on Facebook. I mean, I've got an email address. If you guys wanted to write something, perhaps in chat, I'll screen grab it and paste it into an email instead of an email. How's that? And if you don't want to put that in chat, then just email me and I will put them together and send them to her. Yeah. We need to organise a wrench wench backstage meeting, don't we? I reckon we're about due. Apparently Ty is going. Was doing a live stream this evening at some point. This evening, your time. At some point, I don't know what channel. I don't know what time. You didn't put any of that information on. So keep an eye out on his Facebook page. If I find it, I'll post it. But yeah, apparently he's going to let loose all of the stuff that's been going on in the background with Lauren, and yeah, he's apparently able to speak about it now. So, and he had court on Monday. I think it was to do with his divorce, I believe, but he hasn't gotten back to me. So I don't know. If you haven't got, he's on Free Franklin Tucker on Facebook. He's been putting all of his social media on there. He hasn't done anything on the You of the Tube. All right. Well, is it nearly 4 o'clock? Yes, it is. All right. I might have a quick bathroom break. I've set up the stream, so I'm going to redirect this. You should put Lauren. Yeah. I don't really want to poke the angry bear though. Like that's. Yeah, I don't want to get involved in any of their private stuff. Happy to cover anything to do with his trial and his cases and his civil cases and stuff. But yeah, no, I don't do. No, that'll get me into trouble. And Steve's not interested either in that, and I don't want to. Like I was trying to for the last podcast, I said to him, I suggested, why don't we do a follow up on this Karen Reid hearings and stuff, and then I actually sent him an email back and said, no, sorry, forget it. There's it's too controversial. I don't want to bring that to the podcast. Sorry, I'm not interested in drama. So yeah. All right. I might, as I said, this stream will automatically, actually, if I start the other one, it will direct you straight over, and I'll just put some nice ambient music on in the background whilst I go to the bathroom and make myself a coffee. Oh, welcome, Susan. Welcome. Thank you. New subscriber, Susan Karma. Lovely. Lovely to have you. And welcome. Or should I say, suffer. Suffer in your jocks. Okay, so music. That way you've got somewhere to go and you can just hang for 10 minutes and then we'll start. Okay. We're going live on the other one. I'm running two at the same time. Pretty tricky. Okie dokie. So by the time the outro runs, you'll be redirected to the new one with some beautiful music, and I'll be there shortly. Be good. Beat it out. Bye-bye.
Hey there, thanks for stopping in. We hope you will join us again. We all look forward to next time. We get to talk about true crime. Clues. Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule and the defense rests. Our true crime family is great. All types of topics we debate. Smash that like and ring that bell. Hit subscribe, you might as well.